Because so many schools have gone Google, I wanted to create a presentation on some ways to provide feedback to students using the Google for Education apps. Some of these are obvious feedback functions, but hopefully most everyone will learn something today or gain a new idea of how to use or provide feedback in a new and creative way. The relative advantage of using these feedback options is convenience for teachers, particularly who work in districts that use the free Google for Education apps. As you'll see, many of the feedback options are automated, saving time for the instructor. And regardless of whether the feedback is automated or not, providing the feedback directly through the Google app allows for much customization and differentiated learning. If successfully implemented, these feedback options allow for creative yet practical ways of following up with students to continue the learning momentum.
So a lot of people know that you can add comments in Google Docs by selecting and pressing the comment button on the right, but a couple ideas for using this creatively. Number one, some people don't know that you can use the plus symbol or the @ symbol and start typing an email address, and this will essentially tag someone in a comment by emailing them and letting them know that you mentioned them in a comment, you wanted them to see it. Another idea of comments is to use this as an opportunity to provide your students with additional resources. Say they got an answer wrong, you can say, check this out, or read this article or something, and then paste an article that would be helpful for them if they got an answer wrong or they needed more information. Here we are in Google Sheets, and if I wanted to give a comment in Google Sheets, I would just right-click on a box and then come down to comment, and then I can type in whatever comment I need. I can post a link to an additional source, or I can tag someone just like I would in Google Docs. And you can also do the same in Google Slides by selecting what you want to comment on, right-clicking, and clicking comment. In Google Classroom, anytime a student makes a comment, you can always reply back to them on any post. You can also come up to create a question for students, and they can respond to the question. You can reply to them, or they can do peer-to-peer replies as well. Rubrics are a great way to provide feedback to students. In Google Classroom, when you're creating an assignment, you can click right here on rubric, and you can either create your own rubric within the post. You can reuse one from a previous post, or you can import one that you've already created or already have from Google Sheets. When you open up student work in Google Classroom, it'll take you now to a grading hub. And if you select a line of text in the grading hub, you can come over here to add a comment just like you would if you were in Google Docs. And you can give them feedback this way. What makes this different is that you can also access a comment bank in the grading hub. So if you click this button right here, you can see all of my comments that I have in my comment bank. And while I'm typing, I can also click the hashtag, pound sign, number symbol, sharp if you're a musician, whatever you want to call that, and it'll pull up a list of all of my comments that I give regularly, so I don't have to type them over and over and over. There are a lot of ways to provide student feedback in Google Forms. When you view the responses, if you click on individual, you can see individual student responses, and you can add individual feedback to each question. So you could post your feedback here, and then you could click this link to post a URL to an external source, or this link to upload a YouTube video or connect to a YouTube video if a student needed to use any of those resources to review something that they missed, for example. When you're creating the quiz, after you come up here to settings and select make it a quiz, you can click on answer key, and this will give you options to add answer feedback right here. You can give answer feedback to incorrect answers or to correct answers. You can post links to URLs and YouTube videos, and so this way, if a student gets the answer wrong, they'll see this answer. If a student gets the answer correct, they'll see this answer. So it's just a great automated way of providing feedback quickly. And a final way of using Google Forms to provide feedback to students is by using something called Go-To section based on answers. So when you're creating your form, if you go ahead and set up multiple sections, the idea behind this is if a student gets a question wrong, that it'll take them to one section, whereas if they get the question correct, they'll move on to a different section. So you can use this as a form of automated feedback. I just made this up really quickly. What color is grass? Let's say I clicked the wrong answer as a student. If I had it set up properly, it would take me to section 2. watch this video on why grass is green. So it gives the student an opportunity to review. Whereas if I had selected green to begin with, there's no need to review that, and it would have bypassed section 2 and taken me on to section 3. So that is go-to section based on answer. And a final idea of how to provide feedback to students would be using a screen recorder such as Screencastify to just video yourself talking to the student and then share that with them through Google Drive. So for example, you could discuss the project that they've completed or dictate changes that you would make to a paper that they wrote while making the annotations on the screen. This could just be audio, or you could even embed your video in the corner. Additionally, if you wanted to share a resource with the student that would be helpful, you could even navigate to the resource during the recording so they can see what it looks like. So I can see a lot of benefit and creative opportunities afforded through using a screen recording app such as Screencastify to just orally dictate the feedback to the students. And it's just fun. Thanks for watching today. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day. Bye.